And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Braemar Arena, the home of the 49th annual John E. Reimann tournament, hosted by the Edina Hockey Association. And this is the junior goal, the U16 championship game, and it features the Wayzata Youth Hockey, Wayzata Trojans, and the Prior Lake Lakers, as they will do battle. Very similar colors here for each of these teams, as Wayzata will be the home team. They'll be traveling from right to left across your screen there, and it'll be Prior Lake in their navy blues, and you will see them moving from left to right. We, of course, now are going through your traditional handshake to get things started for these two hockey clubs. But you look at this matchup here coming in. The Wayzata Trojans picked up the berth with a 2-0-1 record in pool play. We'll get into that a little bit later. And then it was a 2-0-1 record for Prior Lake in a very tight tie-breaking situation out of their pool. We'll break that down for you as well as we'll get ready to face things off here in this hockey game. And I will take you through the day's events. Appreciate your joining us here today as we will get things going here momentarily from center ice. And here we go. We're underway from Braemar Arena as it will be controlled by Wayzata on the near side, played into the neutral zone as we'll play this one through center ice area there. These two teams getting after it and really going here. That shot played into the corner off Wayzata's stick. That was number 10, Philip Vukashevic. And now it's going to be back the other way. Prior Lake's going to play that one in deep, giving to Charles O'Hara as he comes away with it. He'll walk out of the corner, lay that one up to the line on the stick of Toby Allen. That shot's going to be turned aside, wide of the mark. In goal for Wayzata will be Aiden Jolovich, and it's going to be Kobe Anderson for Prior Lake as they will take care of the crease and the pipes for this hockey club. That one's played rink wide. Toby Allen played that there. Now that's going to be played back down the wall there by Logan Carney. Now a puck that's played up to the line. Nice sticks on the near side. In there for Wayzata was Taze Bryant. And now it's into the neutral zone as they're going to have too many. A penalty early on here as that was kind of a slow change there. I think Grady Stevens got caught coming to the bench there as the player came off the ice, handled the puck. And that put us into that situation of the too many players on the ice. So now we'll get to see the power play for the Trojans as they were hemmed up a bit in their zone. So we'll get to see them go to work offensively here. From the left blue line, that's played by Ian Unterseer. Into the slot, backhand bid there. Nice look by Benjamin Folkson, and that's going to be Anderson to cover that up. That puck snuck through to the slot area, and that was a nice turnaround opportunity there. That was stopped by the goaltender for Prior Lake, Kobe Anderson. Off the draw, Folkson, they'll get that one back. That's going to be played off the boards by Everett Altschul. Low slot area. They try to play that out front. That was Parsley there. In front, there's another chance. Good bid. Gathered there off the right wing by Sandow, and he's going to play that one to center. They're going to move that through with Sandow. He'll load and shoot. That's blocked up high. Played off the near board. Sandow brought down on the play there, collided with Chopchits, and it's going to be played back into the corner. Now it's going to be Sandow. Henry Sandow on the puck up to the line. Staying with that is Parsley. Now it's going to be gathered from the left wing. It's going to be Andre Chopchits again from the left wing side. He's wedged and stopped neatly by Parsley. Parsley gets a little bit of help from Broden Park. No relation to former NHL legend Brad Park, at least from what we know up here in the booth. Back out of the zone comes Wayzata to the left wing side. Power play continues. That a little too far for Brandt. Steered into the corner off Anderson. Brandt looks up to the near side. Waiting there was Filip Rakosjevic. And now he'll walk across the line of the backhand in a bid that slithers through the goal mouth area. Mitchell Rakosjevic is there. He'll play this one off gear. He's going to walk along the goal line. Looked out front. Nothing doing there. He'll play off the boards to try to stretch it a bit. Nice play at the line. Poked to center there by Theo Thoney. Here's a shot that's going to sail up high off the glass. It'll dribble onto the stick now of Nolan Gregor. He'll take this from the right wing side. The power play continues through neutral as they will control this in across the line. Gregor with it. He'll carry it coast to coast to the corner. Over to handle him is Allen, who strips him of the puck, comes away off the left wing side, tries to guide that through the middle. That's going to be gathered and handled by Gregor. Nice stick there. Here's a foot race, loose puck. That one's going to be an interference call. Gregor, and it looked like that was on the other way there, back the other way, William Jezierski, as we'll have a little contact and interference call most likely coming up. Yes, take a look at this one on replay. You'll see as this puck is traveling into the zone here. They were in the foot race. Nice stick here to break this one up from Gregor, and that's going to be Jezierski. Gregor just impeded him a little too much there. I think his going down was what really got us back into that power play. Now Prior Lake will get the man advantage as it's O'Hara. He controls from the right wing side, cuts to the forehand, shoots. A nice pad save. Jolovich square and looking solid there. That'll force Prior Lake back into their own zone to retreat as they'll break this back out of the zone. That one too far, and that will be enough for an icing call as we'll travel back into Prior Lake territory. They'll have to go 200 feet here in order to get the power play square and running again. For Prior Lake, who is on the power play, they have this for the tournament. They opened up on the 15th. Seemed like that was a week ago almost, with a 7-2 win over Minnetonka. Then they lost to York, Illinois 5-4. But then they beat Osseo Maple Grove by a score of 6-3. And they advanced via the tiebreaker. They had the best plus-minus differential, which is listed. There's a shot in front. They score! Oh, that was a nice rush to the net. And the goal scored by Prior Lake as they take the 1-0 lead here in the first period with the power play goal. Let's take a look at this one on the replay. You see a nice breakout up the right wing side. They had plenty of real estate to gather. That's going to be a nice little look. Nice feed down low. Heavy lifting turned in there by Charles O'Hara, and I believe that was Logan Carney to finish the deal for his club to give them the 1-0 lead. So Wayzata gets called for a slashing call. And maybe let's take a look at this one. While they're so busy. Preston Young was credited with the goal, with O'Hara obviously with that assist. Then there was another penalty after that goal for slashing called on Wayzata. Prior Lake leading 1-0 with their second power play here of the first period, as they'll play this one in deep for another icing call. Back the other way we go. Look at these two teams. Goals for per game versus goals against. It's been 5.7 so far for Wayzata, 3.7 or check that for Prior Lake, 3.7 for Wayzata, but defensively, Wayzata very stingy, only allowing 1.7 against, while 3.3 for Prior Lake. So we'll see if this takes on more of a defensive or an offensive tussle here between these two teams. Prior Lake has dented the twine early on here with that goal scored by Preston Young. Back into the corner, that's O'Hara to work it. And that's going to be swatted to center. That's off some gear, and it's going to roll its way into the Prior Lake zone. No ice on the play. That's going to be Grady Stevens. He gets through a pair of skates and finds some open real estate into the corner. Here comes Stevens. He has his man open. That's a nice pass to Sandow, but he's going to be read and cut down there neatly by Philip Rakashevich. And now back in across the line. That's going to be controlled by Parsley. He's going to be bothered there by Brandt. And in the slot area, that's cut down. Back up to the line, it's O'Hara. He's going to tap that one over to the stick of Stevens. O'Hara gets it back. Try to get past Gregor, but he stopped him. Glove down at the line by Stevens. And there's a whistle on the play. We've got a penalty coming up. And there's a hooking call. This one on the Lakers. That's going to go to O'Hara. O'Hara gets the hooking call. There's a puck played up to the line. Waiting there was Parsley, a shot that's blocked. And that's going to be gathered and played to the near side. Staying on that off the wall, there's going to be Philip Rakashevich. Rakashevich gets it back. Nice feed to the middle. Look out. Back in across the line they go. That's Mitchell Rakashevich. Gets by one. In on goal, and a great bid there. Wow, that was a great play all the way along by this Wayzata team as the puck is going to be played back in deep. Here comes a loose puck play to the near side. That's Gregor. Now he gets it over the near side. That's going to be Philip Rakashevich. They're good at the line. That's going to be Mitchell Rakashevich, number 8, going toward the net. Now Philip Rakashevich with it. He'll get to a shallow angle. Low feed there that just slithered through. Anderson had the stick there. Nice look. Here comes a puck played through center. That's going to be off the stick of the goaltender, Aiden Jolovich, as it's going to be the Trojans to break back out. They trail 1-0 here in the first period of the 49th John E. Reimann tournament here, presented by the Edina Hockey Association. Oh, nice feed, low around the goal mouth area. That's going to be John Engstrom to come away with it. Off the boards, that gets through everyone. That's going to be toward the goal mouth area. Jolovich will guide that one up to the wing. Preston Young will play in, steered aside by Jolovich. Wayzata now will play this one up to the line. Nice puck protection there to keep that for the Prior Lake Lakers, who are going to retreat and regroup back into their own zone. Giving chase is Theo Thoney. He looked toward the left wing, but Engstrom was pressuring him. Gets a little bit of help now from Ethan Palmer. Back in behind the net, it's going to be Prior Lake with it. We're now even strength as you see O'Hara step onto the ice at 5-on-5. O'Hara's going to go to the net. And that one was sent in on goal and gloved down and hung on to by Aiden Jolovich. Nice electric crowd here at Braemar Arena. It's been a great weekend of hockey. Off the draw in front. There's a shot. Scores! Oh, a beautiful face-off win there. And that was going to be gathered and finished by Henry Sandow as he comes up big to give his club the 2-0 lead. Look at this draw. And you'll see there, Sandow will be right there on the right wing. He's a right-hand shot. And he took a little bit of a step to his left, got through his man, was open, gathered, shoots, and scores as he makes it 2-0 in favor of Prior Lake. That's Tommy Henches, our public address announcer here this afternoon. Sandow officially from Stevens on the goal to give Prior Lake the 2-0 lead. Corsol was there, lost the grip, and it's going to be Taze Brandt that's going to create some pressure back the other way. Nice stick at the line there by Filip Rukashevic. And it's going to be the Lakers, though, that gain possession back with Grady Stevens in across the line. Stevens shot into the midsection. That one snuck in pretty quickly on Jolovic, who came out and made the save, one and done, took it right off the crest. Face-off win by the Trojans. I was just saying the other day that I do a ton of highlight pass. Oh, there's a chance to the slot with our high school brand here. Of course, we've all known MN Hockey TV forever. There's a shot that goes over the glass. And we were, of course, purchased by Live Barn, and so we do a lot of highlight packages and things like that. I think like 30% of the goals, it seems, that might be a little aggressive, are scored off a draw. There's a centering feed that's deflected away. Nice stick save to the corner by Jolovic, who's a little bit under siege here. Back over the near corner. Down comes Allen to make the play. Played back up into the neutral zone. There's Palmer. He's 1-on-3, has a little bit of help. That's going to be Chapchits that's with him. And now played up to the right wing side. Out of the zone they go with it. That's Cunningham. Cut off at center. Nice muscle play through traffic. That was Quentin Parsley. Played rink wide. Palmer controlled. Now it's back in behind. They're going to wind up and break out as Wayzata will send one man. Going in on the forecheck is Palmer to flush. Back up high to the line. That was off the stick of Benjamin Folkson to the slot area. There's a quick shot. Folkson gets a stick on that one. Now it's going to be Chapchits back to center. Parsley. He'll protect the puck, gets away from one man at the line. He stood up. Now it's going to be picked up and shot in on goal. That taken by Palmer, turned aside by Jolovic. Lakers continue to press in the offensive zone with the forecheck as they go to work from the near corner. Nice defensive play there for Wayzata as they break that one up and now try to move it up the line, but that's stolen away. Nice shot. That was a shot with pace from Logan Carney. Jolovic again, a stick save, and here they come back out of the zone. Back pressure, stole that away from Nolan Gregor. That was Sandow's numbers sake there, who's going to play it from his knees. He finds that one now for Carney. Carney looks for the side for the centering feed there, and then instead it's going to be picked up on the near side. Delayed penalty coming up. Shot in on goal by Henry Sandow. A great start here by Prior Lake as they're forcing things for sure. A hooking penalty is going to be called here now on the Wayzata Hockey Club. And that's going to go to Nolan Gregor. Big kill here for Wayzata. They want to keep it at least at a minimum of 2-0 here in this first period of the John E. Reimann Championship game of the JG16, the U16s as we know them. Off the draw, it's controlled by Prior Lake. Here's O'Hara. He has an assist. He pushed that one in on goal. Jolovic, nice smooth blocker pad save. Back up to the line. O'Hara again. Snapper from far out. That's off the stick. Jolovic did a nice job to come out and address that shot. And there to deflect was Henry Sandow. And that went out of play, and that forces the face-off coming up to the right of the goaltender. Nice escape there. That's Everett Altschul that plays that through center. Charles O'Hara is going to be back to retreat and handle for his club. O'Hara gets away from one man. He's stick checked on the play. That one hops underneath the stick there of Filip Rukashevic. And now it's going to be back to the corner for Sandow. O'Hara waits for it. Rukashevic giving him some pressure. And now it's Fisher Kurth back in behind for Wayzata, looking to break that up. Enough pressure to force that one into the neutral zone. It's Broden Park. Now it's a big check in the neutral thrown by Kurth. But still, Prior Lake stays on the puck. That's going to be Brandt with some pressure. Back into the corner. Park plays the body, forces the turnover. They'll walk the line in front. He scores! Oh, what a great setup there off the end wall. That was just hard work on the forecheck, as I believe that was finished once again by Preston Young, but we'll wait for the official call on this one. Take a look at this one on the replay. You'll see that check thrown there. Oh, it's going to be a man dropping down low right from the blue line there. That was terrific. So Logan Carney is your goal scorer, with Grady Stevens picking up his second helper of the game. Preston Young picks up his second point as well. It's now a nice sturdy 3-0 lead here in the first period. Prior Lake feeling comfortable in the championship game. Set back in by Engstrom. Over to the far wall it goes. Bennett now is going to take it to safety, back in behind his net. He'll be wrapped up over to the near side. That's going to be Jezierski. Back in over to the right corner. Wayzata on the breakout. They'll play this one through to the line. That's going to be held by Parsley. And Wayzata takes control toward the top of the circles. William Jezierski was there. Now it's going to be Corso with it across the line. On the play there, William Jezierski had the stick lift, tried to pull the trigger. Now it's going to be from the left side, a shot that's off the glove of Theo Thoney, off the stick of Theo Thoney, and off the glove of the goaltender. We're going to keep it here with side by side. Quench Hydration, obviously a big partner here with the work we do in Minnesota with MN Hockey TV, and of course Live Barn, and a very quality product there for sure. Icing the call as we bring this back into the Wayzata zone. Off the draw to the low slot. Ooh, shallow angle bid. That shot taken by Grady Stevens. Nice stick there to fight that one away from William Cunningham. Back in behind around the wall, that's Firth. Now it's picked up by Cunningham again. Nice check there to break that up by Kurth as the Trojans look to break out, but the forecheck has been really steady. That gets past the stick of Allen as he's going to skate that one back into his own zone. Samuel Gertkin with some pressure. Now it's going to be Mitchell Rakashevic back up to the line, controlled. Nice stick work there across the line. Look out, carrying this one deep. That's Fisher Kurth. He'll center the feed, but that's blocked off a pair of skates. Cunningham had it momentarily. Ooh, that hit Cunningham off the bid there by Everett Altschul. Left wing turned up by Henry Sandow. Nifty move. He's going to bust in on the forehand. Scores! Ooh, highlight reel effort by Sandow. He made a great play to get the puck and find some real estate, and then he wasn't done there as he tucked it home with authority. Sandow with a terrific goal there. Let's take a look at this one on replay. You'll see the play as it develops from center ice here. Watch this. Ooh, how's she going? So he makes a move on Kurth there, and then Jolovich was left to his own resources there, and instead it was a great play by Sandow. And it's now 4-0 Prior Lake. Back in behind the net, up to the slot. That's going to be handled by Allen. Tucked back into the corner by the Lakers. That was O'Hara that was there. Young now got to that puck, and that will do it for the first period. And what a good start for Prior Lake as they take this into the break. Back with more right after this.
My grandfather opened our doors in 1930. Ever since, we've had one main goal: keeping customers and their families comfortable. Comfort isn't just about temperature, it's about your peace of mind working with us. Our reputation is built on quality work, integrity, and a team of experts second to none. We stand behind our guarantees, our work, and our people. That's been true for over 90 years. Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, the comfort you deserve since 1930.
And we welcome you back to Braemar Ice Arena on the West Rink, where it is 4-0 after one, and a really nice start. As we mentioned before we went to the break there, for Prior Lake. They will be moving from right to left across the screen as we get ready to drop the puck. Face off, controlled by Wayzata. That's Philip Rukashevic's stick, and it's controlled by Prior Lake. Back the other way they go. Logan Carney finds O'Hara in front. Carney with a redirect off the backhand. Woo. Down in a heap they go in the corner. Fans want the penalty, as you could hear. They're not going to get it. There's a shot from the slot, and they are going to get a penalty, but that was a different one off the side of the cage. As you'll see, Prior Lake player is down. We'll see what's happening here. Interference was the initial call. This, of course, is the Minnesota Hockey Game of the Week, working in conjunction with the Edina Hockey Association Tournaments Championship Games. Well, the Game of the Week throughout the rest of the year, we'll also be covering all of the districts, regions, and state tournaments. We'll have a special landing page on Live Barn for all of those games for you to see. And we'll also have some feature shows coming up along the way as well. We're going to need to wait for a trainer to come, and while we do that, we're going to take a break. We'll be back with more right after this.
My grandfather opened our doors in 1930. Ever since, we've had one main goal: keeping customers and their families comfortable. Comfort isn't just about temperature, it's about your peace of mind working with us. Our reputation is built on quality work, integrity, and a team of experts second to none. We stand behind our guarantees, our work, and our people. That's been true for over 90 years. Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, the comfort you deserve since 1930.
Still tending to the injured player on the ice off the side of the cage. 4-0 the score. Prior Lake is going to go back on the power play. And I believe it's 5 goals at any time of these games that goes into running time. So we're very close to that happening right now. And you'll see the player was helped off, and we will hope everything's okay there. It's good to see there's movement and nothing from that regard. So that's a fortunate situation there. So we will be facing off here shortly. Okay, get you situated now. So we had a hook and a rough, and it's a 5-on-3. Prior Lake with a big opportunity here up high. Now it's going to be Kurth as he plays that over to the left wing. Kurth took that, or checked that. That was Sandow that played that over to Parsley. Parsley gets it back. Here's Parsley with it. He turns away from trouble coming from Mitchell Rikashevic. Now they'll play this one. Sandow, a nice blocker pad save. Jolovich calmly plays that one off the boards. Now it's going to be Parsley with it. Far corner. Here comes the foot race for it. They're going to play this one up high to the top of the circle. Over to the near side now. That's going to be Parsley. Wrister. That's wide. That's what happens when you get compacted in like that. If you miss the mark, you got to go all the way back to retreat and get it back up ice. Now it's Sandow with it. He's going to leave that one for Parsley across the line. This will be Parsley to the corner. Looks for some room out front. There's a shot that's stopped and held on to Jolovich. A nice save there. Oh, to the slot area. That's picked off. Back to the line now. Here's Parsley. He has some room. Walks back door. Oh, what a good look there. That one just fails to click as they're going to play this one hard off the corner. That's controlled out front. That one's going to be off his stick. Now it's Thoney with it. Now top, bottom of the circle or play back behind that. Ooh, they had a nice thought going there. Now that's going to be on the stick of Kearney. Kearney plays that. Sandow tried to push that one down low. He was looking for Young. Now it's going to be Sandow again to the slot. That one misses the mark. Controlled by Young. Played back up to the line. Near side it goes for Parsley. Parsley loads and shoots. Backdoor. Scores! The power play was working crisp there, no question. And you'll see this one from the low angle bid. So the first one out of the box is going to be Brandt for Wayzata. So here's a nice feed. This one comes up high to Parsley. Gets that down low, and that's just a quick catch and release. As that puts Prior Lake up now by a score of 5-0 here in the championship game against Wayzata. That one gets through. Now Wayzata's at full strength. Grady Stevens, his third point of the game now, as he scores. They gave the assist to Quentin Parsley, as you heard Tommy Hench's call out on the public address there. In on goal, that's Jolovich with the save, as he'll hang on. It's been an impressive performance by Prior Lake on all accounts. Back over the corner goes. Waiting there was Bennett, but the Lakers get it back. There's a shot buzzed wide of the mark. On that was William Jezierski. Shot from far out in on goal by Broden Park. That's going to be handled by Jolovich. And we're going to take the face-off to his right inside the zone. Wayzata will go wholesale on the change. Thoney kicks the draw back onto the stick of William Jezierski. Wide of the mark it goes. Wayzata was there, but over to make the play was Jezierski again. And Wayzata will clear to center. Thoney comes away with it. Nice heavy stick there for Wayzata's Folkson. And now it's played over. Oh, picked off at the line. Back in deep it goes. That was Altscho that played that in. They're delayed on the offside. They're going to have to touch. Back in behind Park with the freebie out of the zone as Wayzata's good at the line now. Nice stick to turn that over. That was a play by Folkson up high. They're going to handle it to the slot area. Folkson ready to pull the trigger but couldn't quite get the shot off as that's played back up to the line. Folkson had it there momentarily. And now back into the left circle it goes. Good forecheck there. Good shift by Benjamin Folkson. Had a chance there as well. So we'll bring the draw back inside the zone. Romer on the draw. He went in. Check that. That was, Romer in on the draw. He went in against Engstrom there. Now they're going to go to the defensive zone on the breakout. Preston Young. Nice play at the center red line there by Bennett. And now it's going to be sent back in behind the net. Bennett will retreat as the carom will be gathered rather instead by Stevens. Over to the right wing side, kept at the line. There's Parsley, plays toward the goal mouth area. They score. Another goal for Prior Lake. That's just going to the net. That's what you got to do if you want to finish. And you'll see this one, how it really started up top. Parsley stepped into that puck. Nice feed. They found the man down low. That went off the stick of Stevens. And then it was finished for now, the 6-0 lead. That puck goes through the goal mouth area there. Kept at the line by Gregor. They look out front. Bidding there was Mitchell Rakashevik. Off the glass to center. Now they'll move with Stevens in on goal. That's held by Jolovich. And will face off inside their zone once again.
At Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, we know that winter doesn't mess around.
The polar vortex is no joke.
Fight back with whole home upgrades powered by your HVAC system. Humidifiers, ERVs, air cleaners, UV lights, and smart thermostats. More comfort,
Cleaner air,
better control,
all season long.
Say goodbye to dry skin, static hair, and stuffy rooms.
And hello to cozy, fresh, and balanced comfort.
Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.
Had a face-off and a shot that went in on goal there as we went side by side there. And the face-off to be taken inside the zone by Prior Lake's William Jezierski. Jezierski and Folkson were in on that draw. Folkson pulls it back, but Prior Lake will win the race to the near corner to the slot area. Folkson will guide that one ahead. Prior Lake will control to the near side with Park over to the right wing side. That's William Jezierski. Jezierski looked toward the middle for Sandow. Here's a slapper from the right side. That was Allen. That one's turned aside by Jolovich. Off the boards, too far. No ice, though, on the play, as that was Allen. He'll take it back in behind the net. He's going to play over to the near corner. Just found some real estate there. Now Park will gather in behind the net as he gets away from the oncoming forecheck to the line. Sandow was there. Here's Folkson, who is getting ready to shoot the puck there, and instead he got his stick lifted from a good defensive play. They'll battle up in the high slot area. Nice stick there to keep that alive. That was a play turned in by Altschul. Now that was Gertkin with it. Now it's going to be Folkson, left circle. In front, Altschul, a shot in on goal, and a nice save made there by the Prior Lake goaltender, Kobe Anderson. Take a look at the stick work as they battled up high in the slot area. Folkson was there. He gets it back. And then nice feed to the slot. Everett Altschul was there to get that in on goal, as that's Kobe Anderson to make the save and keep the 6-0 lead intact as the draw was played back in behind the net. Prior Lake out of the zone with Preston Young. He's going to be 1-on-3. Here's Young with it. Oh, gets away from one man back in behind the net. Shallow angle feed. That's going to be off the gear and quickly pounced on and covered by Anderson. Another face-off win. Wayzata has been solid in the face-off circle this evening or this afternoon. Play that off the boards, but cut off at the line neatly there by Parsley. Parsley's been effective here, generating offense right there from that spot at the left blue line. Play back into the far corner. Stevens is there. He had a man in Thoney out front. And this will be played to the right wing side. Nice stick there to keep that alive. Phil Rakoshevic was there. Now it's going to be Parsley over to the right wing side. They're going to walk down the wall, lose the handle there. That one's played back in. That was off the stick of Isaac Corso. Now it's Parsley down the wall. Stevens. Parsley gets it back. That's into the gear and back out of the zone. Trojans look to advance that one ahead. That was Elijah Morse-Peterson. There's a check thrown in the neutral zone by Thoney, as that'll force the puck back in deep into Laker territory. Or check that Wayzata territory as they're moving in their white sweaters from left to right. Now it's going to be controlled by Logan Carney as he'll play this back in behind the net. Carney on the forecheck. Wayzata breaks out with Ethan Palmer, but that's going to be stolen away by Sandow, right wing on the feed. That's a blocker pad save to the slot. And a whistle on the play. Off the boards, play to the left wing side. Nice job into the corner to gather that with Mitchell Rakoshevic. Cut off by Carney. He'll carry that one to the corner for the Lakers as here's Carney to the slot area on the backhand in on goal. That's stopped, and that was Jolovich. I looked over his shoulder. Not quite sure where that one went. Oh, nice job to advance toward the goal by Sandow as he found an opening. Carney, Sandow helps out to the line. Oh, nice stick across. That's Allen loses the handle. Wayzata nearly had a break out of the zone as that was Mitchell Rakoshevic on the play. Off the near wall it goes. Here comes Sandow. He can skate. Oh, puts that one in and up and out of play. That was a great bid there by him. off the draw. That's played back in by Quentin Parsley. It's too far over to the far side. That was Corsol that was there. Now it's the Trojans back the other way. That pass for Altschul missed the mark, and it's going to be turned back up ice by Prior Lake. That's Stevens. He's going to carry it. He'll walk in front, let a shot go, and he scores. Stevens, the second of the game. Went with a nice rush. He had some options there, but he just kept seeing real estate, and he made the right decision there, stayed with it. You'll watch here. There's three players. He had Folkson with some pressure, Sandow as well, but then he just stayed with it, and he finishes there for now the 7-0 lead. Out front it goes, back up to the line. It's going to be chopped down on the play there by Corsol. There's another shot. They try to go over the blocker. Nice save made by Jolovich. Wayzata plays back into center. That's going to be Parsley in control as he turns away and up ice. Nice play there. Lost the handle, gets a little bit of help and gets it back. Back in across the line. Over to the near side. Stevens gets away from one, lets a shot go. And now from the left wing side, it's going to be played out of the zone by Samuel Gertkin. And that'll make it for an icing call, as we'll get a line change here late in this second period. Wayzata gets the draw back in behind. That's going to be Brandt to play around the near wall. Park gets control. Now on the stick and turn back up ice for Wayzata. That was Andre Chopchitz. Wayzata back again through center. That's Engstrom as he plays it, deflected in deep off the Lakers. Collision off the near wall there, but it's going to be Allen to play it over to the right wing side in front of the net. That's steered aside off the stick of Kobe Anderson. Lakers, nice check thrown there by Wayzata on the way out, and here they come. Prior Lake on the move. Allen's shot deflected by a nice stick by Parsley as that is up and out of play. Wayzata, nice breakout off the draw. They looked ahead for the stick of Filip Rakashevic, and now it's cut across the line by Mitchell Rakashevic. Ooh, in front, that's going to trickle off the stick of Park to the near corner. Sandow's going to rim the boards all the way around to the far side, and that's going to be picked up by the Wayzata Trojans. They'll play it to the near stick of Logan Carney. Now Carney will gather. Fanned on that one momentarily. That was Mitchell Rakashvik that was there again. That's going to be offside at the line. Face off won by the Lakers to the near side. That's going to be Young. Folkson gets that back to the D as they'll regroup looking for Folkson up ice. That's deflected away and broken up by Cunningham. Now across the line, it's Young. Young to the line. That's going to be played back into the zone by Corsol. Lakers forecheck. Trojans beat that, and out of the zone they go with speed. It's going to be handled there by Gregor. Here's Nolan Gregor, cuts to the forehand. That was off the stick of Altschul. And now from the right wing side, that's Sandow to try to play that up the wall. Pressure from Corsol defensively. And now it's going to be played by Parsley into the corner. He was watched on the play, and here they come. Lakers will send a pass far ahead. That one missed the mark, and the puck will roll enough. Ooh, they called the ice there. That was very close. Face-off win and control. That's deflected wide. Again, I mentioned Wayzata has been very good in the face-offs. Hasn't translated to the scoreboard as much, but it's been really good for them in their efforts on the face-off circle. Nolan Gregor pumped that one in on goal. That was turned aside by Kobe Anderson. Prior Lake across the line. It's Engstrom with a back check there. Put some pressure on and forced a turnover as they get it back from behind the net. Now it's going to be Gregor. Back up to the line. That's going to be Corso. Corso pushes that one wide of the mark. Wayzata look to break this one out of the zone. They come over to make the play, and out of the zone they go. Romer, or check that. That's Engstrom who plays that one deep. Over to the far side, it's Chopchits. He's with it. Turns and circles that one in behind the net. Now it's Corso. Up to the left wing side off the stick of Young. Low slot area. That's going to be sticked out of there by Kurth. And here they come to the left wing. On the move, that's going to be Young. Young, nice little move through traffic. Back up to the line. Look for Parsley. Parsley loses the handle. That's going to be kept closely at the line there by Stevens and played in behind. Bennett will take over now. Bennett for the Wayzata Trojans. Outlets to the right wing side. That's Palmer. Palmer back for Bennett. Bennett's going to chip that one up to the right wing side for the stick of Philip Rakashvik, and that one's going to be turned back to the right wing side. Kicked into the corner now by Thioni. They'll try to advance that one down with some pressure coming from Sandow, and now it's picked up by Prior Lake, top of the left circle. Spun off the puck there was Thony. Kept at the line. Parsley, they lose the handle, albeit momentarily, as it's picked up by Sandow as he's going to muscle this one in off the right corner. Oh, he gets away from one man and cycles it back into the corner. Now it's going to be Bennett. Plays that one up off the boards. Back to center. And that's going to do it for the second period. And a big one there for Prior Lake as they go up by a score of 7-0 here through two periods. We will take a break. When we come back after we do the ice, we'll have the third period of this 49th annual Junior Gold U16 championship game of the John E. Reimann tournament. From Edina, Minnesota and Braemar Arena. More in a bit. third period will be played under running time as the 7-goal lead has been gained by the Prior Lake Lakers, as they will look to close this one out against the Wayzata Trojans in a very impressive effort for them as we go to work here to start the third period. Thanks for joining us here at livebarn.com, MN Hockey TV, and of course the Edina Hockey Association tournaments in the 49th annual John E. Reimann tournament. I can remember I was a kid in Edina when that tournament started years ago. John Reimann was a big junior gold level coach. I think it was called Juvenile at the time, back in the 70s. Maybe a little junior B action too as well. And that will bring up coincidental minors off that penalty. So we'll stay with it. 5-on-5, they're out. First whistle after their penalties expire. And we'll get the official call from our public address announcer, Tommy Henches. Off the draw, Wayzata will control. Be stopped over on the far wall there. And the puck will be played back into the near boards. Up the wall. It's going to be gathered and played. Nice stick there to thwart that opportunity by Landon Carney out of the zone. And that's a beautiful escape there by Park. Advance to the left wing side. That's cut off by the defense. Nice play in the slot area. Played up to the left wing side. That one's too far for Benjamin Folks, and now picked up by Everett Atchell. Altschul shot and a glove save. Oh, what a nice flare of the leather. Terrific save made there by the Prior Lake goaltender Kobe Anderson. Let's take a look at this one on the replay here. You'll see how it snapped this one right out of the air. Nice puck advance there by Folkson. And they'll pick that off, and that's picked up by Altschul, who will get the lefty shot, and the goaltender saw that straight into the catch glove. Off the draw, it's Prior Lake that controls at center. It's Wayzata with the sticks of the neutral zone, trying to thwart that energy that they've had through transition. That one's kicked up to the slot area. That's off a stick and played over to the right wing side. Wayzata's John Engstrom was there. Played to center. Prior Lake controls. That will be Quentin Parsley. Over to the far wall with Palmer. Wayzata back up toward the slot area. Chopchits was there with a check. And this will be played back off the stick. And, oh, there's a chance. Shallow angle bid. And a nice save made there. William Jezierski on the opportunity off the side of the goal mouth there. Nearly made it 8-0. It's going to be handled by William Jezierski. Player goes in toward the goal mouth area there. It's Ethan Palmer. Now it's going to be Parsley as he protects the puck away from traffic with Andre Chopchits there. Through center ice, that's Corsol, who was stripped of the puck. Played back in deep as it's going to be Brandt behind his own net. Brandt will look to play this to the left wing of the breakout. Chopchits deflects that one into the zone, and that's going to be a little too far for Akashik as he was there. Mitchell and Philip Rakovchik have had themselves some nice games here for Wayzata. Hasn't proven on the scoreboard for them yet. Face-off win again by Wayzata. In that draw, that was Philip Rakovchik. He'll be there to take over back in behind. Off the boards. Nice defensive play there by Park. Didn't allow that to advance out on the breakout as he'll tuck it back into the Wayzata zone. Allen will send a shot toward the slot area. That's cut down with a stick of Philip Rakovchik. And now it's off his stick again. That was sent his way from brother Mitchell. Back into the Wayzata zone off the boards. That's Maxwell Bennett to make the play. They'll collide up along the wall. Allen comes over. Banks that off the boards. That's going to be gathered, played back in across the line. Nice feed to the left wing side. That was off the stick of Preston Young, and that's going to be played all the way through and the length of the ice. No, that's going to be on goal there as that's handled by Anderson. Keeps the play moving. Now Prior Lake transitions out of the zone. The Junior Gold B tournament coming up, championship of this tournament coming up next. Scheduled for 2:15. I think we'll be pretty close. They'll be doing ice after this one and getting on the fresh sheet. That one's off the boards. Wayzata back ahead it goes. Now it's Gertkin with it. He's stopped at the line by Sandow. And back to the left wing it goes. Prior Lake tried to muscle that one out of the zone, but to no avail. Wayzata shuts it down. Here's Folkson from the left wing side. Gets away from one and on goal. Backhand. Oh! Pad save again. Anderson has been just too good here today. Now Prior Lake will accelerate back up ice. That's off Jolovich as he'll play that one to the slot. Here's Kurth. Gets away from one man. Kurth now through center. Gains the checkered. In the offensive zone. Pulls it. Shoots it. That's it off Anderson. Rebound! Oh! A couple of big saves there by Anderson. Knocked the post off in its effort, but he quickly got it back on net as we continue on with the play. And now we have a whistle. Maybe because he couldn't get it completely there. Yeah, you see that. That's one of those ones where the official tries to kind of just let it keep going. See if he can get it there. And that was just a matter of, that was two big saves by Anderson. Terrific. Back up to the line. There's a face-off in on goal. That's going to be looked into the glove by Kobe Anderson again. And we'll reset to his left. Face-off win by the Lakers. William Jezierski was the center iceman there. Prior Lake plays to the right wing side. That's off the stick to center. It'll be gathered up by Gregor as he's going to find the stick of Chopchits. Some pressure from the slot area. Nice job to protect that puck. And here comes Wayzata in the move. Back it across the line. Played in deep. To the left wing side. I believe that was Ethan Palmer on that for Wayzata. It's going to be played back out by Sandow. He's brought down on the play. We're pretty much playing on here. Now it's going to be Gregor back in behind the net. Over to the near wall. That's going to be kept and held at the line by Parsley. Parsley shot in front. They tap that home. No, they don't. Yes, they do. There was no Selly there, but that one did hit the back of the net. And Wayzata is going to go up now by a score of, or check that, Prior Lake is going to go up by the score of 8-0 over Wayzata. Oops, sorry. Take that one away. It's 8. Jamming hit there on Allen. Absorbed that neatly. Mitchell Rakovchik. Jezierski gets the goal. There's a blocker pad save. Nice bid by Mitchell Rakovchik. There's another chance. Shallow angle. That one wide of the mark. Staying big on the post was Anderson in goal. There's a deflection in by Philip Rakovchik again. And Anderson makes the save. Face-off pulled back by Stevens. Around the near wall. That's going to be played to Logan Carney. Carney looked ahead. Bouncing puck on the shin of Brandt and then his stick as he played that in. That pass was cut off in the center ice area by Wayzata as they guide that one in. That's Kurth. They'll find an opening and send that back into Wayzata territory. Back to retreat is Brandt. Brandt will have some pressure from Stevens as he plays that one around to the right wing side up to the line. Now it's going to be Park. Park with a wrist shot. That one dribbles in off the blocker pad, turned aside. Kurth was there. He'll be bumped on the play by Thoney. Back up to the slot area. Played back into the corner as Prior Lake goes to work. in the offensive zone. Heavy check thrown in the corner there by Brandt. They'll scrum up for the puck. That's cut off to the low slot area. Stevens couldn't quite pull the trigger. And that's kicked to center and controlled by Prior Lake as they'll regroup and look to get it back in. That pass missed the mark. Now it's going to be gathered by Brandt. Kept at the line. Oh, kept alive again. That was Park that made the play. Now turned toward the slot area. Preston Young, backdoor feed. Oh, nice little redirect through the legs by Theoni. The player gets dumped behind the play as well. We get set to go here. Off the draw, played back in behind. That was Romer who won it for Prior Lake to control back up to the line. Nice stick there. Pressure, though, from Chopchits, and it's sent back up the other way. Oh, nice stick there. That's going to be Jezierski. William Jezierski across the line. He's being watched on a nice angle by Bennett. They play it to the slot area, cut off by Wayzata as they'll play this one through. Nice read by Young. Young from the left circle drops that one off. Shot's going to be deflected wide. To the near corner it goes. That's played back down by Parsley. Back up to the high slot and out of the zone. Wayzata transitions through center. It's going to be a 1-on-2, 2-on-3 as it evolves. Ethan Palmer looks out front. There's a save. Puck still loose, and there's a whistle on the play. Coming up next will be York, Illinois, and Centennial as they will face off for the Junior Gold B Championship of this 49th annual John E. Reimann tournament from Braemar Arena. Slated for a 2:15 face-off. Pretty close to that with how this one is timing through for us. Back over to the left wing side. That's off the boards. Bennett was there. Now played to the near side. Cut off by the stick of... Sandow just slithered that one wide of the far post. Sandow out of the slot. It's a big, strong player, tough to contain in the offensive zone. And he draws the penalty. Around the wall it goes. That's going to be Park. Mitchell Rakovchik was there. And they have the tripping call. Back to the power play now. We'll go Prior Lake. Ian Unterseer will go. Ooh, look at that. Clean back to the line. Shot it on goal. There's a rebound. Ooh, that one just off the side of the goal by Grady Stevens. Two good chances there off the draw on the power play. Nice save made there by Jolovich. Stevens back to Allen. He'll play it left side in on goal. Nice read there by Jolovich. Didn't give up any ground and held on to that one. The time ticking. They're hustling on and off. You can see that. No messing around on the running time as that clock is running. Under 3 minutes to go in this one. Big body thrown there off the draw by Engstrom. To the slot area it goes. Here's Gertkin. Stick checked on the way out by Parsley. And back into the neutral zone. Turned up ice by Prior Lake. That just missed the mark. Into chase now is going to be Preston Young. He'll be watched on the play. Was Bennett there. Now to the low slot. Nice save. Puck's loose and covered. Jolovic, after covering that with the clock running, precious seconds tick off on the penalty, and we'll be back to 5-on-5 here pretty quick. And before we get back to 5-on-5, we will end the hockey game as this one goes final. Prior Lake very convincing to pick up the win here by a score of 8-0 over Wayzata, and they are the champions of the 49th annual John E. Reimann tournament. They win by a score of 8-0. We'll keep it here for the ceremonies, and then we will bid you adieu. And thank you for joining us here this afternoon. We'll have the Junior Gold B Championship coming up next.